It's the 2K Sports pregame show, sponsored by Kia.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. Always a pleasure, and I mean that, to be here with Kenny and Shaq. Tonight, it'll be the Memphis Grizzlies up against the Toronto Raptors. For the Raptors, they're sitting at 500 over the last 10 games, kind of treading water. They'd really like to make a splash over the next few games. And Marc Gasol's going to be on the floor tonight. Always a pleasure to see the big guy play. Shaq, is there any center in the league as well-rounded as Marc Gasol?
You know, with this being a small man game now, I really love Marc because he gets it down on both ends of the floor, and he's been doing that for the past few seasons. And, you know, European-style big men, he can step outside and hurt you from that mid-range as well.
Yeah, but you know, he doesn't give enough credit for his passing. The guy finds people on the perimeter, finds them down low, great inside feeder from the high post as well, as he can post up. Understanding of the game, high premium.
Almost time to tip it off. We'll see you next time.
We're in Toronto, Ontario, where the Raptors look to take one from a Western Conference team here at the Air Canada Centre. We're happy to have you with us for 2K Sports midweek presentation of NBA basketball. Along with Steve Smith and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. And our friend on the sideline, Hall of Famer David Aldridge, who we'll be hearing from shortly. And the Grizzlies on a single-game road trip here before heading back home. Guys, when you compare their performance last season to where they sit right now, not a whole lot different story. Not necessarily a big surprise either.
And when you look at Memphis, that big splash they were hoping for to start the season just never evolved. I mean, they're stuck there in the middle of the pack.
It's not how you start, though. It's how you finish, right? So if they still got time to pull this all together and make some noise as the season goes along.
And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, DeMar DeRozan is a great dribble penetrator, but three-pointers are not his focus. He said, I feel like I can get to the basket at will, so it feels like settling. Instead, I could have gotten fouled, got free throws, or an easier shot. I'm not discrediting the three-pointer at all. I know I can shoot it. I just don't. Kevin?
And three-pointers certainly on the rise. We'll see if he sticks to his guns. DA, thank you. Both these teams, Steve, like to work on offense from the inside out, and some players who are very comfortable posting up in this one.
When you have a guy that can post up, Kevin, on either side, what happens is that you collapse the defense and you get easy shots, or you draw a lot of fouls, and that's how you can control the pace of the game.
It'll be the Raptors off the tip. Look at the opening lineup for the Memphis Grizzlies. Tony Allen is out there with Baldwin, and it's Marc Gasol, and it's Green, and it's Parsons in at the three slot. Lets it go with the three. Toronto grabs the miss. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
Proficient in that game at the offensive end of the floor. I mean, their passing was dynamic, and their shot selection was superb.
Just a flawless execution in how they attacked on offense. Couldn't have asked for a better result.
On defense, Toronto fires the three, drills the three-pointer. Parsons got the first bucket of the night, a three-pointer for the Grizzlies.
Parsons with the easy release to drill home the three.
Allen against DeRozan. Gasol with the steal. Fast break, Memphis. Baldwin the pass to Parsons, and Parsons slams it in.
Ooh, quick hands on the steal, and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and offensively.
Terrific defensive instincts to come away with that one, and he showed no hesitation in how he completed that transition opportunity.
Here's Parsons after Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. Dishes it to Green. Some nice passing there by Memphis. 5 to shoot. Count it.
That's a high percentage look when you get the ball that close to the basket.
The Raptors have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Up top, the Ibaka. To the inside. Here's DeRozan. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
He is definitely a very clever player who keeps the defense on their toes.
Parsons outside. Green with a screen for Parsons. And the rejection by Valanciunas.
You see the length of Valanciunas on display with that block. Just went up and got it.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two. Now, the one thing we know about Lowry, he isn't afraid of the big moment, for better or for worse. And Steve, when there is a game-deciding possession, he makes sure to either take the shot or certainly be active in the play.
What you love about Kyle Lowry is that he has a short memory. A bad play or missed shot does not deter him. He comes right back figuring he can make the next play, and he makes a lot of big shots for his team.
First one falls for him.
Kyle Lowry has always been so consistent at getting himself to the free throw line.
And so Lowry nails both of them.
The Raptors has embraced a physical style of play. Strong on the glass, forcing a lot of turnovers, and offensively, they live at the free throw line.
Now, here's Green. 11 points for him in that last game against Charlotte. Lowry drives in, and the layup is good.
Lowry showing how crafty he can be with that hoop inside.
Memphis trailing here. And as you always say, the Raptors play tough, but they also play under control.
That's the key. They force turnovers and they draw fouls, but don't commit them at the other end. The sign of a well-coached team that gives them a huge advantage.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Lowry's got 6 points.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Parsons outside. Green with a screen for Parsons. Green the screen. Nobody near Parsons. They need this. Parsons missing again.
It has not been an easy quarter for him offensively, but I like that he's staying aggressive.
Passes it to DeRozan. There's the screen. Right wing. Here's Ibaka. Gasol with the rebound.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
And it's blocked by Ibaka.
And, well, he's been the NBA's leader in blocks multiple times. Ibaka just has that rare instinct for it.
Count that one.
He has a nose for the glass and a sixth sense in terms of how to read the angles.
Raptors have gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Lowry dishes to DeRozan. Pass to Valanciunas. Feeds it to Tucker. Inside, DeRozan. And the dunk by DeRozan.
Fantastic pass to connect with his teammate on the move.
Now Allen. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And Green gets it to go.
You know, JaMychal Green is extremely gifted down low. A solid post threat who can get the job done down there.
Lowry kicks to Valanciunas. And stolen by Parsons. Takes it from 10. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Parsons got his 3rd bucket of the night. Toronto trailing. Outside Lowry. At the elbow, it's Ibaka. And it's going to be a 3-second call.
All right, a chance to check out stats for DeMar DeRozan. Tremendous numbers for him over the last 10 games. Averaging 22 points per, 5 assists and 4 rebounds. And impressive numbers, no doubt. It's the kind of run we've come to expect from him.
There's the pick. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Got a piece of it. DeRozan against Allen. Pass to Gasol. He feeds it to Parsons. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. It's on Jonas Valanciunas.
And there you see the heart and fire of Parsons. Just refused to be denied on that shot.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
One shot, behind the lane.
The free throw drops for Parsons. Steve, when you reach this midway point of the season, are teams looking forward to the All-Star break as a chance to get some rest?
I think so, Kevin, but there are some teams that are steamrolling right into the All-Star break. They're playing well. You want to keep playing, but I think every team needs some rest, and what I love now is there's longer breaks in the All-Star break, giving the guys a few more extra days.
And here are the Grizzlies now, following the miss by DeRozan. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Allen passes to Baldwin. Green with a screen on Lowry. Baldwin can't get it to go. Raptors trail by 4. Outside Lowry. There's the dish to DeRozan. Kicks it to Valanciunas. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. They get Marc Gasol.
Valanciunas over the last few years has always been pretty good offensively. And also now on the defensive end, he's a guy that's not a liability. He has taken large strides to improve in that area.
Looking at Valanciunas and his defense, he seems to be a lot more decisive in his action, Steve. Seems like a small thing, but that means so much at his level.
Yeah, Jonas is not hesitant on the rotations and charging out to the perimeter. He's playing with more confidence on the defensive end. He'll be all right.
He hits the second from the line.
Valanciunas, he'll show you flashes of dominance, and then sometimes you can't find him. Clearly the potential is there for him, and he feels consistently on the verge of breaking out.
For Valanciunas, it isn't like his numbers aren't productive. He's come close to averaging a double-double for quite some time. You were talking about this the other day, Steve, but you just know that he can be so much more.
Yeah, sometimes it takes longer for big guys to develop. You have to be patient with a guy like Valanciunas. He's been in the league for a while now, but remember, he's still only 24 years old.
Memphis leading by 3. Allen outside. Some nice passing there by Memphis. And Parsons kicks to Gasol. Just a moment to look back at how things were last season for this team as we look at the shot breakdown for the Raptors.
It seems like they found a nice middle ground here. There's some long range, some inside the arc. That kind of offensive versatility makes it really tough for a team to defend.
The Raptors have gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first. Outside Lowry. Rejected by Gasol.
Love how Gasol patrols the court, always on the lookout to reject a shot.
Here's Green. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
You know, when you have injuries, they create opportunities, and JaMychal Green took advantage of this. Here's a guy that's played in the D-League and in France, but he's had pretty much, I would say, in 2016, a breakout season for him.
A new group in now for the Raptors. Pirtle, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Patterson comes in for Serge Ibaka. Norman Powell's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Kyle Lowry. Now here's Parsons. A 17-point game for him in the win against Charlotte. There's the pass to Baldwin. Got a piece of it. Allen dishes to Green. Just 5 to shoot. 2 open that time. Made it look too easy. Green's got 7 points in the game. And Green played mostly in the paint in Alabama, but he's showing Steve he can shoot with range here in the pros.
Well, JaMychal is adding that. Very long, has a lot of athleticism, but the one thing you love about him, his face-up game is getting better and better.
Patterson can't get it to go.
See, when you're going into the teeth of the defense, you have to go harder. Soft lay-in won't cut it.
The feed to Green. Gasol a screen. Inside, Allen. Tries yet again, and it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot 1 more at the free throw line. Caboclo, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Zach Randolph, he's checked in for Gasol. White comes in for JaMychal Green. Vince Carter, he's checked in for Parsons. And it's Harrison in for Baldwin.
Tony Allen has carved out a nice role for himself in this league. A big-time defender who brings a ton of energy each and every possession.
Nice shot by Pirtle. Memphis with the ball. They're on a 15-5 run. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Allen's got his second bucket of the night.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Powell, the pass to Joseph. Shoots from the elbow. To the middle. From 7. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. And let's go quickly to the 2K leaderboard to see the ratings of the best passing two guards in basketball. 5th on the list, Tony Allen.
And what that group has a great understanding of is the importance of ball movement. I mean, they can all create their own shot, but their superb ability to set up teammates really stands out.
Offensively, the two guards are so advanced. Their passing is the extra dimension that gives them the leg up on your typical NBA shooting guard.
Here's Harrison. He kicks it to Randolph. Fades. And it's Memphis with another.
In addition to being a bruiser down low, Zach Randolph has a nice jump shot.
Now here's Powell, defended by Allen. Dishes it to Patterson, and stolen by Wright. Here's Harrison. Allen outside, passes it to Harrison. Wright, right side, feeds to Allen. Pass to Harrison. Clock at 6. Randolph. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. And the Grizzlies lead by 11.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
Brandon Wright, a Tennessee native, throughout his career he's had some knee injuries, but he's one of those guys that at times can wow you with his athleticism. Very good of offensive rebounding and has a good knack of being able to find the basketball.
And Brandon Wright, an outstanding finisher around the basket. Terrific in the screen rolls.
Long arms and a soft touch. One of those guys, as you see him, he grabs everything, he catches everything, and he finishes well over the top.
And Memphis making a change here. Daniels is checked in. Raptors trail by 11. And Joseph kicks to Patterson. Pirtle dishes to Joseph. Harrison with the rebound.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
And it's Wright atop the key. Here's Randolph. Here's Harrison. And it's Toronto with the rebound.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
Joseph, the pass to Patterson. Picked his pocket. Fast break, Memphis. And out of bounds as Toronto gains possession. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Taking a look at Chicago. They like where they stand right now, perched in that topmost position. And, of course, Toronto, 5.5 games behind.
And for the Raptors, they haven't packed any big surprises into the early part of this season. They're right in the middle of the NBA's pecking order.
I don't think they'll stay there. I think they've got a great chance to climb up in the standings as we get deeper into the season, and the players get more settled into their respective roles.
And it's Norman Powell with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Harrison passes to Wright, and Wright throws it down hard.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark. Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. Pass to Randall. He dishes it to Daniels. Trying his luck deep, buries the long-range jumper. And the Grizzlies lead by 14.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Shot by Joseph, no good.
Well, no one's scoring off that screen. That was terrible.
Here's Harrison. The shot, no good. Now Toronto takes it the other way.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game. Clearly a foul.
Toronto shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Two shots.
The free throw drops for Powell.
Injuries are to every team, but the Grizzlies were hit bad last season. They cycled through 28 players. That was an NBA record.
He doesn't get the second one. And so unfortunate, the Grizzlies last year a walking mash unit. They still found a way, though, Steve, to make it to the playoffs despite all the injuries.
They found a way to pull it together. They have a great blend of vets that help the young guys. They never quit, not even up to the final buzzer. That's Grizzlies basketball.
The Grizzlies have been successful on 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this point.
And it's been an average year, really, at the free throw line for this group, only around 75%.
Both free throws good from Daniels.
The Memphis Grizzlies, as we know, the Grizzlies have been grit and grind, slowing the basketball up, pounding it inside. But you have to ask the question, are they behind the curve the way the league is playing right now?
Now here's Powell. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Joseph, that's good. And the Grizzlies leading by 12. Here's Harrison. He feeds it to Randolph. With 2 seconds left. No good there. And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. It's the Grizzlies. They lead by 12. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. And a chance to hear from point guard Kyle Lowry about the chemistry of this Raptors team. They're all pulling in the same direction.
You know, we got a group of guys who came in and bought into the offensive system, the defensive system, and it just clicked. And we got a bunch of guys in here who only want to see each other be successful, and it's rare in this league to have a team like that.
The question is whether or not that team unity, as rare as it is making a difference for the Raptors. Does it make Kyle Lowry any better? Do they just give it more time?
I mean, you could argue it square or you could argue it round, Kevin, because it's worked both ways. Teams that couldn't stand one another have won rings, and tight-knit groups who were like brothers have as well. So there's no one way or magic formula.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And, guys, the Grizzlies enjoying a nice lead here.
I just think that from an intensity standpoint, their defense has really been the key. It's been the catalyst as they've been able to disrupt their opponent's offense.
They've been all over them. They are making things extremely difficult for their opponents so far.
They've got Jonas Valanciunas, DeRozan out there with Ibaka. Then there's Lowry. And it's Caboclo in at the 2-guard spot. That's the group for Toronto to start the second quarter. And in his heyday, Zach Randolph averaged 20 points and 12 rebounds. And Stevie's getting up there in age, but still a player to reckon with.
Yeah, it's funny. His nickname, we call him First name 20, last name 10. That's for double doubles. And he's one of those players that great position rebounder, can score down on the block, gives you an effort on the defensive end. But what he does is give you a guy that you can throw the ball in, settle your offense, and he can get a bucket.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Mike Conley, the point guard, keeps a very stoic disposition on the court. He said so much of the game is mental, and that's one thing that I've always wanted to be good at. Never let your opponent see that you're in duress. So if I make a big game-time bucket or if I miss a shot, you'll see the same mannerisms. I move on to the next play. A real poker face, Kevin.
I like that attitude, D.A. Thank you. Here is Carter, following the score by Serge Ibaka. Gasol, a screen on DeRozan. In the corner, Randolph with it. 6 to shoot. 17-foot shot on the way. That doesn't go either for Carter. And DeRozan, here we go. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
DeMar DeRozan has turned the corner from being a guy who helps with the scoring load to a guy who can carry the scoring load. Has a lot of ways to put up points on the board.
And Steve, for DeRozan and his scoring impact, not only have his points gone up, but he's scoring at a more efficient rate, not just a volume shooter anymore.
Well, started off as a slasher. Now he's a guy comfortable in the mid-range, handling the basketball, getting to the free throw line. It is scary if he can add the 3-ball.
Some changes for Memphis. JaMychal Green comes in for Zach Randolph. And Chandler Parsons in for Vince Carter. DeMar DeRozan hits them both.
The Raptors have been arguably the worst defensive team in the league before the arrival of head coach Dwayne Casey. They struggle from season to season to be able to stop the basketball, but last season, a big step in the right direction.
Here's Baldwin. He's coming off a 13-point game against Charlotte.
And he showed again why he is such a sensational playmaker. Some of the plays he made were just remarkable.
Here is Lowry, following the basket by Marc Gasol. Here's Valanciunas, and count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line. And the Raptors going into last season brought in defenders in free agency, guys like Damari Carroll and Joseph and Biyombo.
But they also simplified their defensive coverages, more in line with what other teams are doing. They still have to get better contesting the threes. Last season, they allowed the second-best percentage in the league.
The free throw drops for Valanciunas.
For a player his size, Valanciunas has always been a good free throw shooter. We won't see a hack of Val anytime soon.
The dish to Daniels. Kicks it to Gasol. To the paint. Lowry brings the double. And the wide open shot from Green. Up and in for the basket. Number 4. That makes him 4 for 5 now. Raptors trail by 9. Lowry kicks to DeRozan. And the pass to Valanciunas. Here's Lowry. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Lowry's got 8 points.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
Now here's Green. 9 points in the game so far. The rebound by Ibaka. Ibaka's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And it's Valanciunas finishing it off.
Love the flush there from Valanciunas, leaving no doubt on that play.
And the Grizzlies leading by 5. Here's Baldwin. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Here's Tucker, and he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run for him there.
The defense looks done right now. No hustle or real desire to get stops.
And again, Memphis no good.
And with the defense disrespecting him there, that's a shot he needs to make.
And the dunk by Valanciunas.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. And there's the feed to Lowry. He kicks to Valanciunas. Raptors moving the ball around. And there's the 3-second violation. Tony Allen's checked in for Memphis. Memphis leading. Here's Baldwin. Outside Gasol. Fires from 14. And again, Memphis no good. Raptors have gotten nearly everything to fall for them here in the second quarter. They're a great 7 of 8 from the floor. Rosen dishes to Tucker. The 9-foot shot. Here's Valanciunas. Excellent D there from Allen.
Worked it inside. Normally an easy basket for him, but just a little out of rhythm on the release.
Parsons outside. Gasol screen to stop the drought. And the shot is long.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
DeRozan gets the bucket.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
Allen outside. Dishes it to Gasol. Drops it in from 14 feet away. Gasol's got 4 this quarter.
Having a 7-footer like Gasol who can hit the mid-range jump shot is huge. Really opens up the floor for his guys.
DeRozan in the corner. It's stolen by Allen. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. And a chance now to review the shot chart.
And this is a grown man shot chart right here. Not too much going on outside, but look at how things are for them in the paint. They are attacking the rim and not settling for the jump shot. And right now it's paying off in bunches. If I'm them, then I'd continue to do the same thing going forward until an adjustment is made.
And Ibaka slams it in.
Kyle Lowry with great vision and court awareness on that play. What a pass.
Memphis has gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. And Green slams it in. Guys, no one team gaining control early on.
Yeah, and you look at the lead changes, 6 already.
Left side Lowry. Screened by Valanciunas. Lowry passes to Valanciunas. And it's Valanciunas finishing it off.
And really, he's just done a great job of finding the open man every trip down.
Today's game really has been a showcase for his passing ability.
Here's Gasol. Shot is good off the back rim and in.
Timeout.
Gasol's got 6 points.
Starting.
Steve, I always hear you talking about your Spartans. Spartans this, Spartans that. Do you follow players more closely who enter the NBA out of Michigan State? I would think it's just natural.
No, for sure. I mean, I get
Our
a chance.
fans, they demand honesty.
Yes, for sure. I mean, I go up to Michigan State all the time.
Yeah.
Spend so much time. You got Draymond, you got Zach Randolph, Gary Harris, Adrian Payne, so many guys, Allen Anderson, so many guys in the NBA from Michigan State. It's hard not to follow, and we're a close-knit family.
That speaks to the program very well, doesn't it?
It speaks to leadership. Tom Izzo.
Yep. The Raptors making a switch here. Patterson's checked in. Toronto trailing. Outside Lowry. Inside, DeRozan. And DeRozan throws it down.
DeMar DeRozan, so athletic, rising up to slam it home. Great finish.
Allen gets to Gasol. Up again. It's good on the putback.
Taking good shots overall, hitting a high percentage of them. That's what has this team rolling.
And it's the Raptors ball. They'll face the Lakers after this one. That'll be at home. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And one thing DeMar DeRozan, Steve, has become great at is running that high pick and roll with the big. Usually something a point guard does, but DeRozan is very deadly in that set.
I love him because he's comfortable handling the basketball out top, does a nice job of coming off the pick and roll, gets to his spot to raise up, and you know if he gets all the way to the rim, he can challenge any big in this league.
And the first one at the line is good.
After having no trips to the free throw line in the first period, he's being much more aggressive now.
And some changes here for the Grizzlies. Brandon Wright's checked in for Gasol. And it's Harrison in for Baldwin. Both free throws good from DeRozan.
Dwayne Casey's one of those guys, watching him coaching, his Raptors. He has passion on the sideline. He works extremely hard. He's such a competitor, pacing up and down the sideline. Dwayne Casey is a hard worker.
Now here's Wright. He's coming off a 13-point game against Charlotte.
And his defense was absolutely outstanding, especially his 2 blocks, which helped turn the game.
DeRozan in the corner. Lets it go from deep, and Wright pulls it down. And Steve Casey has made hard work the mantra of his team. And for his own coaching style, at the end of the day, he says it's about outworking the other team in every way.
Well, that's Dwayne Casey. Defense, hard working. That's his mantra, and that's what he lives by.
And the Raptors with the ball, following the score by Memphis. A nice shot by Tucker.
And the lead should be safe if they can keep shooting the basketball like this.
Here's Harrison. Wright sets a screen. Here's Parsons. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. Zach Randolph, he's checked in for Jermichael Green. For Memphis, they have been good at the free throw line. This one, 7 of 8. On the free throw, no good. Not one of the biggest free agency moves of the past offseason, but had high impact with Chandler Parsons coming over to the Grizzlies. And, you know, Jay, you look at his skill set, and he fits right in with what Memphis is trying to do.
Yeah, I think overall Memphis had a great offseason. You know, in acquiring Parsons and in retaining Conley. Memphis hadn't had a lot of luck luring big free agents in the past, and Parsons is perhaps one of their biggest gets as a franchise. And for Parsons, he gets a good deal for himself and continues to play for a team that has always been competitive.
Now here is Lowry, following the miss by Zach Randolph. Screened by Valanciunas, stolen by Randolph. Stolen by Tucker. Right side Lowry. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Lowry's got 10 points.
It is so hard to stay in front of a guy like Kyle Lowry because he is so quick laterally with the ball.
Here's Harrison. Picked by Randolph. Parsons, the open look. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Toronto's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. And stolen by Wright. Fast break Memphis. Here's Harrison. The dive for the ball. Randolph can't hit. Raptors with the lead. Lowry dishes to Patterson. Toronto working the ball around now. The basket counts and 1. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
You have to respect the continuity and consistency of the Grizzlies. Since the beginning of the grit and grind era, 6 consecutive playoff appearances. That's second longest streak in the league, only to the San Antonio Spurs.
Vince Carter, he's checked in for Parsons. And for a franchise that was once one of the NBA's worst, you can't take for granted the success the Grizzlies have enjoyed in recent years.
The first 15 years in this league, they had never won a playoff game. In the last 6 seasons, 27 playoff wins. It's not an NBA title, but it matters.
5 on the clock. Here's Randolph. That doesn't go either for Randolph.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
To the paint. Here's Tucker, and he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
He is just getting hotter as the game goes along, building on a strong start. He's absolutely crushing it here in the second quarter.
One shot, gentlemen.
That's good from Tucker. Steve, now that it's all said and done, when you look back in your career, do you have one of those single moments that stand out as your favorite?
Yeah, I think my favorite for me is probably on draft night. but then I think the moment that it retires. So everything in between, and the good and the bad. A lot of people point to the championships and all-star and the gold medals, but I think the relationships, the ups and downs, the injuries, just everything, it shapes you as a young man.
One of the, going with the saying that the journey is the reward.
It's totally right, Kevin. I mean, that journey, a lot of people don't get a chance to have that journey, so you want to appreciate even the things that didn't go so well.
Great perspective. And Corey Joseph has shown that he is one of the best backup point guards in the NBA. Just runs the team perfectly. Smitty eats minutes, plays solid defense, and keeps everything running smoothly with the second unit.
You need a floor general like Corey Joseph coming off the bench. Joseph is one of the best in the game at making that happen. Most teams would be happy with him as a starter.
That free throw missing, and Memphis making a change here. Daniels is checked in. And he sinks the second.
And didn't shoot it all that well from the line in the first quarter. Doing a much better job now in the second, up over 80%.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for two.
Zach Randolph has a throwback type of game. Always in the post, not a lot of athleticism, but he gets it done.
And Randolph not the quickest or the most explosive, but he is strong.
He's a load inside. You add his skill and his savviness, he'll just find a way to score inside. He's a lefty with great footwork, and he has a soft touch.
Randolph drops them both.
You know, over the years, Zach Randolph has proven to be the perfect leader. He commands respect, and he gets it from his teammates.
Now, here's Joseph. He's coming off a 13-point game against Philadelphia. Feeds it to Pirtle. Here's Tucker. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. Well, we like to keep you up to date on the fresh talent in the league, so let's check in on the rookie block leaders. Third is Jakob Pirtle.
And that ability to send shots away at the rim, so highly valued, it takes guts to put yourself in harm's way and contest those finishers.
That free throw missing. And the Raptors with a die-hard fan base. The fan support only getting stronger as they've become a consistent factor in the Eastern Conference.
This team is unique in the NBA. They represent the entire nation of Canada. Toronto is the league's 5th largest market. A lot of fans from far and wide tuning in and rooting them on.
And the second free throw, good. The Grizzlies trail by 8. 1:03 left to play here in the half. From deep. Another shot and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there.
Wright has such a high release that sometimes the defense has no shot of contesting his shot.
First trip to the line for him here.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
And you look at the Grizzlies organization, a change in ownership back in 2012, a shakeup in the front office in 2014. Steve, there's been more continuity on the court than off the floor.
Yeah, the head coaching position changed as well. Despite the great job done, hopefully they can sustain that foundation.
Poked away, stolen by Joseph. Now the Raptors moving it up. Joseph leading the charge. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. The free throw drops for Powell. So he gets them both. The Grizzlies trail by 9.
I like the move to go 2 for 1 here.
That has to be the plan. Let's see if they recognize it.
Wright sets a screen. Randolph. The shot's good on the assist by Daniels. And that's 10 points for Zach Randolph.
Can't stop Zach Randolph when he's that close to the bucket. Even with the defense draped all over him, he still nails it.
Now here's Joseph. Guarded closer. Foul for 3. Here's Pirtle, and the dunk by Pirtle.
And just another example, Kevin, of how they built this lead, just outworking.
Greg, that was definitely an effort play right there. You talk about that all the time, fighting to get proper position, then slamming home the putback.
Sheer hustle and will out there. He wanted the ball more, and he went up and got it with some style.
And the first half is now in the books. Raptors lead by 9. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Kyle Lowry. Kyle, you came out strong to take advantage in the first half. Were you pleased with the effort?
Yeah, we got to keep it up. Our defensive intensity has to stay high.
That has led to some great play at the other end. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And we hope you've enjoyed our first half of action. I'm Ernie Johnson welcoming you back. Shaquille O'Neal is right there. Kenny the Jet Smith is right there. And this here is the halftime report. For Toronto, the first quarter was not an easy one. And as they staggered through the period trying to find any way to turn things around, they found themselves behind by 15 at one point. They completely changed their approach and just dominated the second quarter, now in firm control with a 9-point lead. And let's get your thoughts, big fella, on the Raptors.
Well, Kenny should appreciate this. I love the ball movement. They were in sync as a unit, and their assist numbers were impressive. Anytime you get 5 players working together like that instead of one guy doing it alone, there's always going to be a boost. That's the primary reason they're in control of the game.
And now, Kenny, let's get your opinion on Memphis.
Well, it's good to be physical, but there's a line that you don't want to cross. You can't constantly give up free throw chances by fouling guys too aggressively. You have to get back in this game by staying poised, smart, and avoid fouling.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
The evening commute has plenty of people on the move here tonight in Toronto, where we welcome you back to On 2K. And the third quarter about ready to get underway. The Grizzlies trail by 9. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. So on the floor for Memphis, we've got Chandler Parsons, Aldrin out there with Tony Allen. Then it's Zach Randolph, and it's Green in at the power forward.
Close to the hoop, Zach Randolph wreaks havoc. The defense has to do a better job to prevent him from getting that close.
Now here's DeRozan. Screened by Ibaka. Caboclo kicks to DeRozan. The 10-footer. And it's off the back rim. No good. The Grizzlies shooting the ball at 42%. Here's Baldwin. DeRozan defending. Ibaka comes with the double team. Green, the pass to Parsons. Shot clock at 6. Shoots from 14. Valanciunas grabs the board. Valanciunas has got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, the Grizzlies are starting to show their age a little bit. Last season was an example of that, but they still have that throwback style of play that's hard to gauge. Marc Gasol said, the game is evolving, and we as players and as a team have to evolve. We have to change things and adjust. We need tweaks and counters from game to game and year to year. Kevin?
All right, D.A., they know they needed more shooting. Now, here's DeRozan following the miss by Zach Randolph.
It seems that DeRozan has been involved in every score out there in this one, just zipping around the floor.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
It's good. 12 points for Kyle Lowry.
And that's 3 out of 4 now coming out of the break. The offense playing with a purpose.
Parsons outside. Knocks it loose. Fast break. Here come the Raptors. Outside Lowry. Passes to DeRozan. Now here's Lowry. He's tightly guarded. DeRozan dishes to Valanciunas. Shot clock at 5. The Raptors need to get a shot off. And the dunk by DeRozan.
And from an offensive standpoint, they have just been stellar.
No doubt. They've been the ones dictating the tempo.
Here's Baldwin. Now a timeout called by Memphis.
Guarded.
And so many players in the NBA, Smitty, are passionate about giving back to their communities, lending a helping hand to that next person to help them reach their dreams. And I know it's a cause that's close to your heart. So why is this so important to players like yourself?
Well, it's so important, Kevin, because I think in all walks of life, there's somebody that's helped you. And I had the opportunity to get a chance to help others. And I learned this from my parents, especially my mom. She was the foundation of our family and the community.
And I know one of the big contributions you made is back to your university up in East Lansing, Michigan State, with a huge donation that they are very thankful for.
Yeah, just the synergy I had with Michigan State, also my high school, being able to give back, and especially providing a scholarship for kids to get a chance to have a scholarship to attend Michigan State University.
Yeah, that's a super defensive play. If that gets through, no doubt they score.
Absolutely. Prevented an easy bucket. Fantastic D.
Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Pass to Allen. Will it go? A nice shot by Baldwin. Baldwin's got his second bucket of the night.
That's just an impeccable offensive set there to get an easy look inside.
Outside Lowry. And Tucker has it in the corner. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. Lowry's got his 8th assist here tonight.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Now here's Green. 13 points in the game. To the middle, here's Gasol. And count the basket. He is fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
One shot. Gasol is so skilled at completing these and-one opportunities. You have to really wrap him up if you want to prevent him from draining the shot.
And back in 2013, Marc Gasol winning Defensive Player of the Year. Steve, one of the more controversial award winners, but he is a very valuable defender, as we all know.
Yeah, the reason why you look for guys who win this award, that they get a lot of steals, they block shots, they're very athletic. Well, Marc Gasol is just a smart defender. Not going to block a lot of shots, but he's going to be in the right place at the right time, and he's an outstanding communicator on that back line for the Grizzlies.
And so here's Memphis. Jonas Valanciunas unable to get his shot to go.
And we know Tony Allen isn't afraid of physical contact. In fact, he's quite aggressive in seeking it out.
Elbow. 2.
Well, you know Tony Allen is a defensive specialist, but shooting and offense has never been his strong suit. At times, teams leave him open, but he still can be an impact on your team. He's a terrific teammate and leader.
And teams will dare Tony Allen to shoot the 3 in recent seasons. He shot respectively, Steve, from out there.
You know what? It's not his bread and butter, but he can knock down the jump shot every now and then. But what he does offensively, he cuts, he slashes, and he crashes the offensive glass for putbacks.
And Tony Allen, a 6'4" shooting guard. His lack of height has never been a hindrance defensively.
No, not at all. Tony Allen feels like he's a 7-footer. He'll guard the point guards. He guards guys like Kevin Durant, probably 7 inches taller than him. But he has a huge wingspan. That definitely helps. And he has a mentality to want to guard the best player on the floor.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. The Grizzlies trail by 13. Right side Gasol. And that one comes up a bit short.
To me, that's just a loss of focus. He was wide open from one of his favorite spots.
Ibaka, no luck.
Tried to lay it in against some tough defense. Probably not the best decision right there.
Parsons for 3. Drains it from beyond the arc. Parsons got 15 points.
And when Chandler Parsons gets it going, there isn't a lot you can do to slow him down. Everything is working.
Unable to get the ball in bounds, they get called for the 5-second violation. They set the pick, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Ibaka. Allen outside. Memphis moving it around. Gasol kicks to Parsons. To the inside.
It's stops like that from Valanciunas that get a team fired up on the defensive end.
Here's DeRozan. Allen with the rebound. The Grizzlies trail by 10. Shoots. Baldwin can't get it to go.
Almost no chance of that shot going in.
On that play, you gotta trust your teammates. Instead of forcing that one, just pass it.
And you love the defense that Ibaka brings to the court every game. Provides big problems for his matchup with his length. Is good to block at least a couple shots every night, it seems.
And with Ibaka and his defensive presence, it's not only the blocks he gets, but the threat of blocks that makes him great.
That's a great point. You see a lot of very talented players start to hear footsteps when they get close to Ibaka. It isn't just that shot blocking that you mentioned. It's his help defense and ability also to defend on the perimeter. Also incredibly strong and very difficult to back down.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Pirtle, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Norman Powell comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Kyle Lowry.
And what's interesting about Ibaka, he's played basketball internationally ever since joining the NBA back in 08. In fact, he won a silver medal with Spain in 2012. And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Not only does that dunk help in cutting into this lead, but it gives this team a real confidence boost, too.
That 3 off the mark. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jakob Poeltl. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Yeah, no doubt about that one with the over-the-back call.
Patterson, he's checked in for Toronto. Brandon Wright's checked in for Memphis. Troy Daniels comes in for Allen. The Grizzlies trail by 9. Pass to Daniels. To the inside. Green. The shot's good on the assist by Daniels. Green's got 17.
So far, JaMychal has his name all over this game. He is taking smart shots and not forcing anything out there.
Joseph, the pass to Patterson. Will not go. This is off the front iron. The Grizzlies have gone a solid 6 of 11 when shooting here in the third quarter. A nice shot by Baldwin. Powell with it. Down low. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Just a solid player, Patrick Patterson. Comes off the bench, but he also can play starters minutes. Slightly undersized, but finds a way to get it done.
And with Patterson, the Kentucky product, he's very comfortable both inside and outside on the offensive end.
Yes, also as a starter coming off the bench, but I think he's more effective coming off the bench He brings instant offense for his team.
Harrison's checked in for Memphis. And Patterson drops them both.
It's been a really good day for him at the line. Some other bigs have well-documented problems on their free throws. He's not one of them.
Here's Powell. Buries the jumper to finish the break. He has 5.
And you can see the difference with their ability to win with their speed, guys.
They have a huge advantage in fast break points today. Reason why they have guys who want to get out and run.
You might look at him and think he's too small, but he still gets up there with any big man in this league.
Joseph dishes to Tucker. To the paint. Here's Pirtle. And the layup falls. Pirtle's got 6 points.
Really nice work. Pirtle going to town on the weak defense down in the paint.
Here's Harrison. He dishes it to Daniels. He feeds it to Carter. Just 5 to shoot. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. There's Green with the 3. And Pirtle pulls it down. Pirtle's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Now here's Joseph. Defense is right there. It's rebounded by Memphis. Wright's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. The shot by Carter. Nobody around. No good. Raptors leading by 9. Pirtle kicks to Powell. Now the dish to Joseph. Raptors moving the ball around. And there's the call on Brandon Wright. That's his 4th foul of the contest.
This could be a problem. That's his 4th foul with plenty of basketball left to play.
Caboclo, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Kicks to Joseph, down low, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
That's about as violent as a rim rocker as it gets. A real confidence builder.
And when Coach Fizdale came to Memphis, he did so because he thought this team was very close to getting to the next level. Makes sense, as that is why the Grizzlies, Smitty, have looked to a different coach in the first place.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think he left Miami to rebuild. I mean, he had South Beach and everything. You just don't want to leave that. I think for him, as he looked at it, is we have some veteran presence on the Grizzlies. I think the Grizzlies can win now. It's not time for a full rebuild.
Zach Randolph, he's checked in for Memphis.
Inside is where Wright feels at home. Love his length and soft touch.
And Joseph kicks to Caboclo. Puts it up from 12. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Caboclo's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. The Grizzlies trail by 11. Here's Harrison. And Carter has it in the corner. Off target with his 3.
And he's really having all sorts of problems with his jumper right now.
And if you're the defense, you probably should sag off him right now because he's not knocking down anything.
Here's Harrison. Picked by Randolph. In the corner, right with it. There's the pass to Daniels. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Harrison. The feed to Randolph. And we see a chart here for the shooting performance so far.
What a display we've seen from them so far. Every half open look they've gotten, they've knocked down and show no signs of letting up. Right now, they are in the driver's seat. As long as they can keep their rhythm on offense, they'll just steamroll this team the rest of the way.
He's had 4 chances at the line, made them all.
And to this point on the season, guys, 80% from the line. He's done a really good job. This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
And he sinks the second. It's It's good, and he's 100% from the line thus far.
And his work at the free throw line has been terrific tonight, making the most of his chances.
Joseph, the pass to Caboclo. Some solid defense from Randolph.
Oh, tight defense being played right there. Got right up on him and forced the miss.
If you're the defense, that's what you want to do. Make it uncomfortable for the offensive player.
Here's Harrison. He's covered by Joseph. Daniels kicks to Randolph. 6 to shoot. And yep, couple bounces and it falls. Randolph's got 7 points for the quarter.
And Randolph's skill in knocking down their mid-range jump shot is important to this team. Helps to have a big man with a jumper.
Birtle sets the pick for Joseph. Down low. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And Jakob Poeltl enters the NBA after 2 seasons at the University of Utah. Last season, he won the Pac-12 Player of the Year, as well as awards for the best center and low post player in college basketball.
Yeah, and he had an opportunity to play in Europe instead, but he thought the college route would be a nice experience. Certainly the exposure didn't hurt, and he made demonstrable improvement from year 1 to year 2.
And the 7-footer, Jakob Poeltl, a smooth, fluid athlete for his size. And he's got tremendous bloodlines, guys. Both of his parents were members of the Austrian national volleyball teams.
So he gets them both. And Poeltl picking basketball over volleyball. I guess you could say it worked out for him.
Yeah, I mean, they said growing up in Vienna, there wasn't a good youth volleyball program nearby, so he just went with hoops. And staying in 7-1, I'd have to say it's worked out pretty good for the big fella.
Look at the big fella working on that possession. He knows how to fend guys off and get those rebounds.
Joseph dishes to Powell. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. Poeltl, the pass to Caboclo. He kicks it to Poeltl. Puts it up from 12. Drained for 2 points. Poeltl's got 6 here in this quarter.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. Sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
Daniels with it, guarded by Powell, beyond the arc. And Poeltl pulls it down.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And Joseph kicks to Caboclo. To the paint. And the dunk by Poeltl.
It doesn't take much for Poeltl to throw it down. At 7 feet tall, all he has to do is be near the hoop.
Here's Harrison. Randolph a screen. Shoots from 12. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Here's Caboclo. Got it off in time, but it's no good. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. It's the Raptors up by 12. We'll be back shortly live from the Air Canada Center in downtown Toronto. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Raptors leading by 12. Lowry out there with Corey Joseph. Then it's DeRozan, then it's Ibaka, and it's Valanciunas in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Shot by Joseph, no good.
Well, his team is winning. I think he wants to help seal the deal, but maybe shooting the basketball right now may not be the best way to get it done.
Fires from 18, and DeRozan with the basket on the assist by Lowry. And that's 20 points for DeMar DeRozan. Here's Baldwin. Lowry covering. Baldwin the pass to Allen. They get it back. And the rejection by Ibaka. They get it back. Parsons against DeRozan. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession.
It's not often you see that kind of mental lapse. He just lost track of where he was.
The Raptors making a switch here. Tucker's checked in. And Memphis also making a switch. Green, he's checked in for Zach Randolph. Toronto leading by 14. Lowry dishes to DeRozan. To the middle. Got a piece of it. Gasol with the steal. Here's Baldwin. And a miss there on the triple. Toronto's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Lowry kicks to DeRozan. Dishes it to Valanciunas. Tucker the pass to Valanciunas. It's rebounded by Memphis. Green's got his 7th rebound here tonight. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Parsons with a pretty jump shot.
Toronto, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Lowry kicks to DeRozan. Feeds it to Valanciunas. It's stolen by Green. And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his first foul.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
The Grizzlies trail by 11. Parsons dishes to Green. Back to Parsons. It's stolen by DeRozan.
Good eyes by the defense. Clearly, that's not where he wanted the pass to go, and he's frustrated.
Rejected by Gasol. Now here's Parsons, guarded by Tucker, and there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That'll be his second foul of the game. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Outside, Green. Passes to Gasol. Parsons outside. Just 5 to shoot. And the miss by Parsons. Raptors leading by 11. Out left to the wing. Here's Tucker. And again, Toronto no up. Memphis has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Here's Gasol. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's on Jonas Valanciunas. And right around the 2016 All-Star break, Marc Gasol's season was cut short. Broke a bone in his right foot, had surgery, and Stevie was gone for the rest of the season.
That's a huge blow for the Grizzlies because that's losing their best player. And a guy that's 7'1", he's done everything right. Lost a lot of weight, but sometimes those 7-footers, they put a lot of strain on those lower extremities.
And the first one drops.
What I like about Marc Gasol, you get everything. Scoring, passing, block shots, rebounding. He's the total package.
Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line. Raptors leading by 10. Here's Lowry. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
The All-Star Kyle Lowry last season played fantastic basketball throughout the year. Up and down, had some huge cold streaks in the postseason. But when it was time to make big plays and big shots, he stepped up.
And for Lowry, it was revealed he was dealing with an elbow injury at the end of the season and during the playoffs. And Stephen Helbig explains why he was so inconsistent with his play.
But you love that he never complained, never talked about it, just kept battling. He's one of those guys, yes, he struggled, but he leaves it out there on the court. But he had some moments where he made a lot of big shots in the playoffs.
He hits both from the stripe.
And this team will make you pay when they get chances at the free throw line. It's helped them pull ahead here today.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies.
Clearly, he's not pleased with all the looks they've given up on the inside, and also to get them to tighten up that defense.
Defense has been atrocious lately for them. You can't blame him at all for wanting to address that here in this timeout.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Kevin, during that last break, I heard David Fizdale talking to his team. He said, "Do you want this game? Don't tell me about it. Show me and show your teammates. We've got to play better, and we've got to play harder if we're going to come back." Guys?
We're in the final quarter of play here, 3 minutes in. Allen kicks to Gasol. That one falls through. It's his 6th make from the floor this game, now 6 for 10.
Marc Gasol is a workhorse down deep, just rising up and throwing it down.
Lowry passes to Ibaka. He dishes it to DeRozan. And the Raptors miss again.
And not the best shot right there with a good defender draped all over you.
No, not at all. When you see him guarding you, just try to move the basketball on.
How about the concentration? He gets hit, but stays with the play and gets the finish.
Free throw drops for Green.
You've got to love the journey JaMychal Green has taken to get into the league, really clawing his way into this team's rotation thanks to his tremendous work ethic.
Now, here's Lowry. Inside, here's Valanciunas.
Yeah, and luckily they've got terrific depth at that position. If there's one spot on the floor where they can afford to lose somebody, that would probably be it.
First one falls for him. He doesn't get the second one.
And Chandler Parsons returning from that hybrid microfracture knee surgery to start last season. That doesn't sound very good, does it, partner? But they said the injury was in the best possible spot. And, you know, while he was on a minutes limitation for a while, he bounced back nicely and only got stronger as the season wore on. It's really good to see this young man flourishing out on the floor because he is going to be very valuable to the success for this team.
Chandler Parsons gives you a little bit of everything. He can dribble it, he can shoot it, he can pass it. A very versatile player.
Lowry kicks to DeRozan. 6 on the shot clock. And again, Toronto no up. And Parsons, a player who had logged heavy minutes with his time at the Houston Rockets last season, for the first time, playing under a minutes restriction.
Yeah, and that was in the past, but he's proven his value. He's a guy you want to keep healthy and on the floor.
And he can't get the first one. And the second free throw, good. Toronto leading by 7. Outside Lowry. Pass to Tucker. Screened by Valanciunas. Tucker dishes to Valanciunas. It's Valanciunas finishing it off.
Valanciunas getting rewarded there for putting down a solid screen on the pick and roll.
The Grizzlies have gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. To the inside, Parsons. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Parsons, no good on that one. The Raptors have gone just 2 of 8 in this fourth quarter. The final quarter not treating them well so far. To the paint. Ibaka, the pass to DeRozan. Sinks the three-pointer. DeRozan's got 11 in the second half.
And he's looking to really stretch this lead out, even with the cushion they have, still letting it fly from long range.
I think in this situation right now, he's trying to put them away.
Aldrin can't get it to go.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a whole different ball game down low when this fella's lurking around.
Now here's DeRozan. Here's Ibaka, and easy 2 points on the layup. And it's a 12-point Toronto lead.
Great heads-up look there from DeRozan to get his teammate an easy basket.
Here's Baldwin. Outside, Green. Pass to Parsons. Unable to get that one. Nice D from Valanciunas. Right side, DeRozan. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Ibaka.
And you can see it. He knew he made a mistake the second the ball left his hands.
The Grizzlies trail by 12. Here's Baldwin. He feeds it to Randolph. Here's Allen. The rebound by Ibaka. Ibaka's got 7 rebounds in the game. Inside, here's Valanciunas. And the dunk by Valanciunas.
Well, you know that Valanciunas has the potential to go off, and he's doing it here.
Memphis has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. To the inside. To halt the run, he lays it in. Green's got 5 points now this quarter.
Yeah, one of the few bright spots for his team. I mean, he's had a very efficient offensive performance.
Overall, it hasn't been pretty for his team, but he has shot the ball well.
DeRozan in the corner. And Lowry has it in the corner. Shot clock at 6. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. Green's got 8 rebounds in this game. Here's Baldwin. Lowry covering. There's the dish to Allen. Over to the left wing. Here's Randolph. And the rejection by Ibaka. Now here's Lowry. He's covered closely. Kicks to Tucker. Back to Lowry. There's the triple. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
And certainly they are not hesitating, letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Here's Randolph. And they pick up 2. Randolph's got 9 points now in just the second half.
And Randolph's ability to finish through contact is huge for this team. They depend on him being tenacious out there.
Outside Lowry. Shoots from the elbow. That's short off the rim. The Grizzlies trail by 13. And here we go. The Grizzlies on a fast break. Green, no luck. Toronto's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. It's stolen by Green. And it's Memphis on the break. Parsons for 3. Tries again, and it's Randolph getting it to go. Randolph's got 21 in the game.
Zach Randolph is just relentless on the glass. One of the best offensive rebounders we have in the game.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Patterson, he's checked in for Toronto. And Memphis also making a switch. White's checked in. And stolen by Wright. And now the Grizzlies, fast break. Parsons running. Goes back up. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
And DeRozan kicks to Lowry. From outside, off the mark.
Obviously, this has been a tough quarter for him, but he's still trying to keep a positive mindset.
Baldwin, the pass to Green. Wright sets a screen. Here's Parsons. The shot, no good. And Toronto will come the other way. At one point, they led by 16. Lowry's shot is good.
And Lowry really looking comfortable in this one, going right at defenders.
The Grizzlies trail by 14. Now a timeout called by Memphis. You gotta like what DeMar DeRozan has done in this game.
Remarkable scoring display that he's putting on. They have to regroup, stop the momentum. Plain and simple, they have to cool him off for a couple minutes. One strategy they might employ is to force him to work hard on the defensive end and to try and sap some of his energy.
Here's Parsons off the inbound pass. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Valanciunas has got rebound number 17, if you can believe that. To the right side. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. The pass to Tucker. DeRozan against Allen. That's tipped. It's stolen by Allen. And it's Memphis on the break. Allen leading the charge. Good work there as it goes. That's now 22 points for Chandler Parsons.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
I love to see them push it like that because the reason why, he's a deadly finisher in the transition game.
Now here is Lowry. Ball's knocked loose from the arc. And again, Toronto with the triple.
Just dialed in from the three-point line in this fourth quarter.
I mean, these are daggers. When you start hitting threes in the fourth quarter, it really deflates the other team.
Here's Green. Parsons outside. Passes it to Baldwin. Shot clock at 5. Not really his range, and it's off target.
Look, I know he wants to put the team on his back, carry them across the finish line, but it's all about getting a high percentage shot.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Raptors.
When you shoot this well from three-point range, you're really hard to stop. The defense didn't rotate out fast enough to stop the hot shooters.
Yeah, exactly, Kevin. They were lethal from deep.
And they took charge when it counted, and they'll be notching their 9th win overall.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off. Just a quality win, and you look at the box score and some really good numbers for Jonas Valanciunas. He was really important under the basket, making the plays down low and getting position to pull in rebounds.
DeRozan with it. Now right defender.
The aggressiveness that DeRozan attacks the rim with is what gets him to the line more often than not.
So Memphis ends up going with the new group. And the first one at the line is good. Some changes for Toronto. Pirtle, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas, for P.J. Tucker. And it's Joseph in for Kyle Lowry. And he makes the first, but misses the second.
Love how DeRozan has grown as a player, as a leader of this team. And he's done a great job learning how to get to the line more frequently.
They're making this a runaway.
And the only question for me right now is just how big the lead will eventually become.
The feed to Davis. Banked in off the glass.
When you get close to the basket like that, good things usually happen.
And here's DeRozan. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Kyle. Looked like the defense really got it done for you tonight.
You know, we focused in a lot on defense in the film session we did before the game, so we had to re-emphasize the things that we worked on in the last couple of days of practice.
That's been your identity as a team for a while. Congrats again. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, David Aldridge, Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now we'll go to the studio with the award-winning Ernie Johnson.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thanks, Kevin. Now we have the opportunity to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Jonas Valanciunas. A huge factor in the win. He really turned things up in the second quarter to help shift the momentum and give them a major boost heading into halftime.
You talk about a dominant shooting performance. He had defenders draped all over him, and he never looked flustered, and he never looked confused, and his confidence was never shaken.
This guy's efficient. He don't believe in taking bad shots. He's all about the high-quality shots. It makes him a powerful presence in the low post, and he can impact the game on the defense end, too. He takes a lot of pride in protecting the rim.
And thanks for joining us this evening, folks. We've reached the end of our broadcast. For the weeping Shaquille O'Neal and the heartbroken Kenny the Jet Smith.
Why?
I'm just a real sad Ernie Johnson.
Why?
Farewell and good night.